Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and Donald Trump has just scored a massive victory that could be the death knell for one of the Democrats' primary schemes to get him in 2024. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. So, a Colorado judge on Friday decided that former President Donald Trump can stay on the ballot. Now, this judge, well, she had some other things to say, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But it's important to note the judge said that he can stay on the ballot, and it was another 14th Amendment case. It was the third. Now, this means these cases will eventually make it to the Supreme Court, and there's a lot of precedent now. And, I mean, even CNN analysts were having to agree. When you have three cases in three separate jurisdictions that have a similar or the same result, that sets a precedent for the Supreme Court, and it's very likely that Trump will stay on the ballot in this last-ditch effort. If you remember the last-ditch effort they had in 2016 where they were going to try and get the electors to not vote for Trump, this is kind of like that last-ditch effort. It didn't work. Let's take a look.
This is a Fox News alert. 3 strikes and Biden's proxies are out. Moments ago, a Colorado judge ruled that Donald Trump is staying on the 2024 ballot in that state. Remember the Fourth Amendment challenge that was lodged in Colorado, in Minnesota, and in Michigan? All 3 of those have gone Trump's way. Joining me now is Mike Davis, founder and president of the Article 3 Project and a former clerk to Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch. Mike, your reaction, these are 3 rulings now that have tossed aside, at least now, for now, the 14th Amendment argument that the left was saying was their ticket to keeping Trump off the ballot. Tell us what this means.
Well, I think this biased Denver district court judge out here blinked, because I was certain sitting through the trial, the week-long trial, that she was going to rule against President Trump. And I think that she saw the political backlash, and she saw that 3 other courts in 3 different states ruled against this Democrat theory to try to toss President Trump off the ballot. They impeached him twice, indicted him 4 times, 2 illegal gag orders, tried to bankrupt him with a bogus civil fraud lawsuit. That only helped President Trump with the polls, and this was their legal Hail Mary to just take Trump off the ballot, and now they're 0 for 3.
So this is District Judge Sarah Wallace, and it's the 3rd ruling, as I said, in just a little over a week. And these lawsuits were filed by a left-leaning group that included a bunch of, never-Trumpers, Democrats, and so forth. But here's a key quote from the judge's ruling. She said, "To be clear, part of the court's decision is its reluctance to embrace an interpretation which would disqualify a presidential candidate without a clear, unmistakable indication that such is the intent of Section 3, the Section 3 of the Section 3, I believe, in the constitutional argument of the 14th Amendment." Is that correct, Mike?
That is correct. And this judge came back from the break because we could not get anything worse for our country to simply take the leading presidential candidate off the ballot based upon a bogus partisan legal theory that the Democrats are peddling here. The only way to disqualify an office holder under Section 3 of the Constitution, according to case law that's been on the books for over 150 years, is to bring federal criminal charges for insurrection or rebellion, have a jury unanimously find them guilty with evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. The district judge has to convict, and that conviction has to be upheld on appeal. That's the only route, and there's no chance that President Trump was involved with an insurrection on January 6th. It was a lawful protest permitted by the National Park Service that got out of control and turned into a riot.
Now, everyone should understand, so the Minnesota Supreme Court ruling on this was just last.
Now, the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which is being used here, it mentions a lot of positions for which you cannot, if you're convicted or if you're guilty of an inciting insurrection or participating in insurrection, there's a lot of positions it says you cannot attain. It does not say the presidency. And the thing is, the framers of that amendment went through great painstaking process to list every position, and they left out the presidency. So even if you convict him of insurrection, it wouldn't matter here. And that's what this judge is saying. I believe she's correct. Other legal scholars say no, and that's why it will probably go to the Supreme Court. I want to know what you guys think about this story, as always, so please leave it in the comments. Also, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. I'm Carmine Sabia. This is Explain America. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody.